Olivia Rodrigo has a new song getting ready to drop.
Was it 24 hours ago?
Yeah.
We were saying, whatever happened to Olivia Midrigo? That's what your son calls her.
Well,
derisively.
He calls her Midrigo because he doesn't like her music. And yesterday, as we played Put Up or Shut Up rock and roll trivia, we're finishing out our series today on the songs that have been ranked the songs you are most tired of hearing. And Chris Demm's done well in this series, but yesterday he was stumped. The question was, the title to the song at number 2 on their list is the most recent release that we're most tired of hearing. And every single state has a different version of one, and Hawaii's has recently been voted the best or the most scenic. And Chris Demm couldn't come up with it. No one could come up with it. The answer was Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. You know I'm a fan. She's a young artist I've enjoyed this young artist. And after the game was over, won by Chris Demm, we all said, what happened to Olivia? I call her Rodrigo. My son calls her Midrigo. He says her music is meh at best. And Biggie said, yeah, she's just disappeared. Well, now, Chris Demm, out of nowhere.
From the clouds,
Olivia Rodrigo announces yesterday, they're drop a new song called Vampire. And she hadn't dropped it yet.
There you go.
All right, hadn't dropped it.
How about that?
Do we have that kind of influence? Did someone get to Olivia and say, listen, you need to drop something?
Your 50-something fans are getting anxious.
Yeah. Right. Your male 50-something fans need you to drop a little something for
I'd
them.
love to see the day one downloads, and because I bet it'll be age 16, and then like age 52. Oh man, she's not wearing a bikini in this one. She's legal now, right?
You might be right. You might. I mean, if you look at, I don't know if they can. I don't know if you
how specific those breakdowns can be.
Yeah, I don't know, but at any rate, she from nowhere, all of a sudden, it comes out that she's going to do that.
And I think we'll see about this new one. I know you're excited.
I am. Yeah,
but. Driver's License touched your heart, though, because it made you think of yourself as a young person just getting their driver's license, but frankly, no one to ride with.
Exactly. That's what it's about.
Yeah, because she was supposed to get her driver's license, boyfriend, and all that. They were going to do this together.
That's right.
But then he cheated.
That's right. And listen, I couldn't drive to my girlfriend's house, could I? She was in Canada.
Nope.
How could I drive?
Even with the loose borders of the 1980s.
There was no driving up there. And
you didn't have the gas money.
I didn't have that. No. Working at the barbecue restaurant. And now listen, did I drive by plenty of girls' houses and just sit out front that I wanted to date?
Yeah, there's songs about that too.
Did you whisper sing in those long, lonely nights? Yes.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure. Was I listening to the Hot 10 at 10, sitting in front of someone's home, watching just to see what they were doing? When they were out with their boyfriends,
you're listening to Expose with tears streaming down your face.
Right. That's exactly
or New
right.
Shoes. What is it, Biggie? I Can't Wait.
I Can't Wait.
I Can't Wait by New Shoes.
Yeah.
You're right. I was listening to all of those and sitting out front, but
I Can't Wait.
I was not. I wasn't invited into those homes.
Do you think people saw you and like the parents and just felt bad for you and call the police? Like, that's just that sad boy again.
And I do, Biggie. Plus, remember, Kelly grew up in a relatively small town where it's safe to say most people knew most everyone else.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they probably said, that's Johnny's boy.
Yeah, that's right. Of course they did.
And he just parked outside.
Of course they did.
Does he know she's not here? No, he doesn't know. Just leave him be.
Let him be. I know once I became a threat. There was a girl named Heather, head cheerleader. I wanted to date her. She was dating the quarterback of the football team. All right. But I made an overture. I made it known through back channels I was interested. Okay. And the next day at school.
Is this written in blood? Does this look like blood to anyone?
It's Hunt's ketchup. I didn't have the guts to go through with breaking the skin.
I couldn't actually break it. I wouldn't do that. The next day at school, there she is with the quarterback of the football team. She's wearing his leather jacket, got his ring on with the yarn around it and everything. And I could overhear them, and she says to him, he's over there, like pointing at me, like she's worried because I made through back channels. I made it known that I would be willing to date her. And
willing to date.
The 1950s of you.
She said to her boyfriend,
"Do you mind very much if I courted you?"
And she said, do something about this, to her boyfriend. And the boyfriend said, he ain't worth it. I'm
It's the way you flick something off your, like a piece of food off your shirt.
Yeah.
Made me feel even worse.
I'm not getting suspended a game for him because I beat him to a pulp in front of everybody.
The morning announcements kid?
I'm not gonna. What?
I'm not risking a scholarship for him.
No way. No way.
This is my passing hand.
That's right. She was the one I pined after when that Tiffany song was on. Could have been.
Yeah.
We've told that story a few times where at the dance, after the football game, because her boyfriend, the quarterback, was showering. He wasn't at the dance, and I thought, I'll make an overture as this song played. And, of course, she rebuffed. And later I was sitting in my car alone while those two left to go do whatever they were going to do.
And the next space over made it even more weird.
Yeah. I'm just looking
you're parked there? Oh, that's weird.
The windows are foggy.
I'm making big plans, too. I'm probably going to get a cheeseburger.
You're risking teenage pregnancy.
Point is, Olivia Rodrigo's dropped a new. She's getting ready to drop a new.
I know the rules on this can be tricky. Maybe Biggie can give a ruling, Biggie. At what point does someone have to drop a song to make it the song of the summer?
I think she could do that.
There's still time.
I think she could do that. Summer hasn't even officially started. I know we're in the unofficial start of summer.
But there's already, they try to get it early.
Oh, yeah.
And say, this is a. But now I feel like artists go for that.
The song
so
of the summer.
yeah, it's like they'll deem it themselves. It's time for the song of the summer, and it loses it to me.
Funny you say that. Later, it's not on the grid yet, but President Trump the former president, has a birthday today. And yesterday he made some news. He was arraigned.
Traveled up and down the East Coast, sort of a campaign thing, but not quite.
And he bought lunch for everybody in a little cafe in Miami, and they sang happy birthday to him. He'll be on the Big Money Celebrity Birthday Game today in Garbage. Okay, so he'll be on there today. Don't look up his age, whatever you do. But Chris Demm tells me that he went to a restaurant in New Jersey last night.
No, this is at his golf club.
Excuse me, at his golf club in New Jersey. And apparently no one was aware it was his birthday, so they didn't sing happy birthday to him. So he said to everyone, hey, it's my birthday.
Happy birthday to me. I don't know if you heard. They sang in Florida.
And so begrudgingly they all did. All right, let's sing to him. He had to make the announcement.
Excuse me.
Apparently the crowd was not aware. They were aware in Florida. They were not aware when he got back to New Jersey. Also, and this goes along with this modern day music from Olivia Rodrigo. Yesterday, I wrote next Thursday's Throwback Thursday game of Put Up or Shut Up Rock and Roll Trivia.
Working ahead. Look at you.
Working ahead.
Usually you're writing up the deadline.
Have been lately.
Yeah, I noticed my email dinging last night. I was like, somebody's on it.
Yeah, dinging you last night. Wanted to get ahead. We've got a vacation coming up. It takes a little extra planning. So it's like, well, let's just get this out of the way. So got all the games done for next week. And the Throwback Thursday, I'm in a foul mood because of my eating habits now.
Is Olivia Rodrigo going to be in it?
Let's just go for it here. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I have not looked at it yet.
It is the most recent Throwback Thursday we've ever done.
Wow. I like it.
It's one. What Biggie always says, the Demmers will come out of the woodwork with their torches. They'll be at the door. They'll be so upset. Now, that's not this Thursday. Okay, that's next.
Lord.
He said he just took a look at it.
I've seen it.
You just took a look
boy.
at it.
Oh, they're going to be upset about this
one. Man, wait till they get a load of this. Next Thursday on Throwback Thursday, Put Up or Shut Up. Oh, my goodness. He's going to
As we head to the halfway point of the season.
Yes.
Oh, I can taste their tears already.
I like to do that going into a vacation so I can escape all the...
the hate will cool off.
Oh, yeah.
Run out the back door and let the hate cool for a week before we get back. And so I said I was just looking at it and I thought, let me just go all the way in and do the most recent. It's hardly even, you can't even call it a throwback.
This isn't music. I want real music from the 60s.
There it is. That's
Apparently,
right.
it's not even a throwback.
No, it's not. I don't think you can call it throwback. It's barely a toss
You
backwards.
can't be nostalgic for this period.
No, there's no way.
No, you can't be like, remember when?
No. I had that the other day, and this is, I guess this shows my age. We were at the gym, and it was a Thursday. It was last Thursday. And the coach said, "Gonna do some Throwback Thursday tunes for you today." And, got a throwback playlist. There was playing music, of course. And I turned to the person next to me because the throwback was to 2010. And I was like, this isn't throwback to me. I don't know this. I don't know this stuff, And the woman next to me is like, she was getting into it. She's like, oh, yeah.
I haven't heard this in years.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I couldn't have told you if it was from 2 years ago or
I remember this
years
is my elementary school jam.
Yeah, they're all. And I was like, yeah.
Mom played this in carpool.
Yeah. But I need 80s or 70s for throwback.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. They just go back because they're younger, younger people.
They're younger.
Especially now, it's summertime, so they got the young set in there. The college co-eds back
Home
in.
for the summer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to get the stuff now where it's like this song turns 30 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wow, I actually owned that cassette.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Like when I started, because this is, I'd say around 8-10 years old is when I really first started buying music, being allowed to buy music. And that was so now these albums, I'm like, oh, I actually had that album.
I know. Who was I heard an interview the other day. Who's got the new country version of Fast Car? Is it Luke Bryan?
Combs.
Luke Combs.
Yeah.
How old's he? I don't even know how old he is.
I don't know.
He said, now Fast Car by, what's the artist's name? Who did it? Tracy Chapman. That was a huge hit in the late 80s.
88, maybe?
I think it was 88. That's right. And he's saying he's 33.
Yep.
Well, he was being interviewed because he's got a new version. And let me say, I really liked the Tracy Chapman version. I think I like the Luke Combs version better.
Well, there's the argument that people have because it's a very good, it's just a cover.
Yeah.
And frankly, I love Tracy Chapman. I think the original slightly better, but he does a great job.
Oh, you like the original better?
Yeah, just a touch.
I'm going to go with the Luke Combs version as the best. We have the Tracy Chapman version.
When we were driving in your car, speed so fast I felt like I was drunk. City lights stay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder.
Something about this song I always thought, even when I didn't know anything about music, I always thought this is like a cut above, Something about it I really love. He redid it, and what he was saying was, we have it now. This is the Luke Combs version of it. And he says it was the first ever song he knew was a big hit when he was 3 years old. But even that, it wasn't new. He was born in 1990. So his dad loved it and had it on a cassette and would listen to it in his truck. Song was, and he just said at age 3, he was like, I knew this was something. He's always loved it and wanted to redo it.
He said it always stuck out to him.
Yeah. There's a line in it. I really listened heavily to the lyrics this weekend from Luke Combs. There's a line in it about being like a checkout girl. He's like, I'm a checkout girl and whatever, and he kept the lyric the same.
He didn't change
He didn't
anything.
change
He
one
just
thing.
covered
About
it.
He could have called it. He could have said checkout boy. He's like, I don't care. I'm singing it the exact same way.
God, how brave.
The bravery on both of them, incredible.
And this is really gonna, I believe, anger some people. His version is now charting higher than the original did. So people are, of course.
It doesn't bother me because I really like his. I like his
I don't
version.
think Tracy Chapman would be that upset.
No, actually, she
probably gets some money out of it.
She is.
I figured.
That's what they said. They said Tracy's enjoying some
I bet.
checks.
That was one of her. What did she have? A couple of hits. Was there one
Yeah,
more?
maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, a couple that came out of that. But I love both versions of that song. There's a to get out of the fluff hole. And that was a term we just coined last week. Chris Demm said, boy, you're going down the fluff hole early. I said, yeah. And with Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah. There's, and I mentioned this to Biggie yesterday. It's summertime, of course. And the question is, angry neighbor versus man with chainsaw. Who you got? And in this case, it's the angry neighbor. A tree cutting crew in Deltona, Florida, was threatened. A guy named Edward LeBron was cutting down trees as he was assigned to do in a neighbor's yard. And the other neighbor came out of the house and with a gun pointed at him and said, don't you dare cut another limb.
Was it the noise or the trees?
I think it was the noise that was getting there. Although I guess it could be the tree. This is what he said. He says this is what happened.
She said, you drop one more branch from that tree and I'll drop you. I take a closer look at her. The woman was literally holding a shotgun. I was like, I was terrified. She wanted to kill Mr. Tree Tim himself for freaking sawdust. It's insane.
I think it was the tree.
The sawdust.
The sawdust on the tree.
Okay.
You know,
It's the mess. It's always the mess now.
You know what it was? I'm embarrassed by this. We had a few trees taken out recently because someone told us that the roots could grow under and get into the house. You know, the house's foundation. I know. And we noticed a couple of neighbors like peering over. One even texted and said, "Well, you're having a lot of work done over there." I don't think neighbors like it when you change the look of your place sometimes. So one couple came to the graduation party, and I went up to him and I said, "I'm really sorry about removing those trees, but we had to. We were told that the roots would grow into the house's foundation." And he said, "What trees? I didn't even notice that you had." And I was afraid. He was all like, I was like on pins and needles. It wasn't. It
Must have been your nosy wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How about a beer?
Yeah.
Let's get you a cold one.
That's right.
Yeah.
They walk by, they look. Somebody I know had some, what is it called? It's a shrub, like boxwood or something like that, taken out. And the neighbors were all mad. They're like, "Those plants have been there for 50 years. You can't take those out."
I think I think it's sometimes when neighbors have been there for a long time.
Yeah, they don't like
you
it.
start to do that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I have a lot of friends in the real estate industry, and they say, you know, it's kind of like when people start to change a home, even though that new person bought the home and it's their home and can do what they want.
Yeah.
Some people be like, "What are you changing that
What are you
outside
doing?
for? You're out in the garage?"
Because they've
it's
gotten used to it. It's been there. This is the tree cutter against it. Nothing happened. Eventually, they were able to calm the woman down, but it scared him.
They throw a tantrum just for anything. People being chased by battle axes, ninja stars are being thrown at people. People will throw nails in their trucks, pop their tires.
He's a tree trimmer is all he is.
Yeah, usually a guy with chainsaw has the upper hand in almost any argument.
You say he's scared to death of this woman because she was unhinged and didn't want any sawdust on her or near her property.
And, you know, people are just so, you know, the neighborly disputes of whose property. You're on my line.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't cut
there's
that tree down. There's always that, too.
Yeah.
And it's always the poor tree guy gets in the middle.
I know.
Somebody's hired him just to do a job.
Yeah.
But then neighbor comes out and does that, takes it out on them.
That's always a thing.
And just like he's going to clean up his mess. I don't think I really doubt he was just going to leave dust everywhere all over the street.
Do they clean it up? I guess.
Oh, yeah. They
they
have team. And there's one guy usually with a chainsaw, but a team of guys on the ground doing the shredding the limbs and leaf blowing the sawdust away.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. But,
I mean, we've had some tree work done by the same company for years, and you hardly know they're there.
Didn't even realize.
Yeah.
They pride themselves on that, I think.
Yeah, they should.
We don't even, you wouldn't even know we were here. Suddenly the trees are just gone. I have to say, we got rid of a few trees. It looks a lot better. I like it better without all that foliage, you know, all the
nature,
the live. I mean, I hate to say that,
all
but
that chlorophyll.
I just can't do it with that kind of thing. There's another, you know, we've talked also about these groups, and let me give you full disclosure. I've now purchased that SUV. We have bought the SUV. Yeah. Whew. My wife wants me to get rid of the Acura.
Is that the first domino to fall?
Yes. Her aunt passed away a little over a year ago. Her uncle downsized, smaller vehicle. Her aunt had driven this Toyota. I mean, it's a Land Cruiser, big vehicle.
You know, back in the olden days, my friend West Coast Bob said that the people in the 4-wheel drive community used to call those Land Crushers.
Yeah. So I now own
a Crusher.
Now it's an older one. It's a 2000. But it's in perfect condition.
For now.
They say
he doesn't know it, but its days are numbered.
Biggie says it's like somebody living the perfect life and then doing heroin in their old age just to try it.
Yeah, on their 50th birthday.
Yeah. Now that I get it. Now that I have this Land Cruiser. Yeah. And a lot of people emailed me and said, "Well, congratulations, you've become the butthole we all knew you were. You're not. It just screams, I care.
6 miles to the gallon.
I care nothing about the environment."
You're not allowed to complain about gas prices.
Exactly. You're never allowed to do that again. And now I just read today that there is a group called the Tire Extinguishers based in England, but they're also in the United States now. They've been active now in Boston, Chicago, New York, and they slash tires of SUVs. They're environmental, these environmental...
Come on.
It's like the people that glue their hands to basketball courts or counters of restaurants, but they do worse. Now they're doing real damage to these SUVs, and I just bought one. Apparently, the group says it's been responsible in Boston for 43 luxury SUVs attacked and their tires slashed. Of course, if they're caught, they're arrested, but they take credit for it on their website, the tire extinguishers. They're a militant. They are a militant, they say, activist for the environment and against climate change, of course. And they're very anti-SUV, especially the Land Crusher. And now here I have one.
Yeah.
And here I have one.
You know, is it possible? Because, I mean, frankly, on your Acura, you can't be paying that much in insurance.
Right.
So is it possible to maybe negotiate we keep both?
I'm looking at it.
We put a tarp over the Acura.
Oh, that'll make the neighbors happy.
I've said to my
Tarp it
wife,
up.
let's tarp up the Ac and keep it just for sentimental reasons. You know, I just
You never know.
You don't keep anything for sentimental reasons, except that car
I love that vehicle.
and your clothing.
I love that vehicle. And I said to her, I just can't get rid of it. We're having that discussion now because I like that vehicle so much. But she said, look, he's going to sell the car at a really good price to one of his neighbors unless we buy it. And my daughter's getting ready to get her license in a year.
A driver's license. Which brings us full circle.
Well, all the way back around, you know.
Another tween with a driver's
That's
license.
right. So that's what I'm saying is
I can't drive that Acura.
My driver's license.
So when she gets it, you know.
It's a fire hazard.
It is a fire hazard.